welcome back to Behind the Curtain. You may notice that I am not Eric Hunter. That is because he is now in a better place, the workforce. Probably. We have not gotten an update from him in a while. But that's okay, that is where I come in. My name is Grace Timpe. I'm so excited to be the next host of Behind the Curtain. And all you curtain heads out there might remember my guest appearance on Season 3, Episode 3. And I'm honored to be back. Here at Behind the Curtain, we showcase student productions, whether it be short films for class, a personal project, or even a feature film. This week, we'll be discussing 100 Hours Awake, a documentary film by Alex Klo. Let's take a look.
It's the part of the day every college student hates. We just can't stand getting out of bed each and every morning. Universities know this as well, posting surveys on their story about sleep and holding special talks about the effects of sleep deprivation. But do they really care? And what are those effects? That's where I come in. I'm currently a student at Indiana University, and I really want to see how a lack of sleep can affect our daily lives, that being our grades, mental health, relationships, and much more. I'll also be collecting information from other students in this regard while doing an experiment on my own, that being trying to spend the next 100 hours awake. To start my experiment, I decided to get supplies in the form of energy drinks.
White Peach Zoa, Rainbow Unicorn Bang, Cosmic Stardust. What was it? What was this brand?
Zoa?
No, this brand.
Oh, Alani Nu?
Alani Nu.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I then created a sleep survey of my own and hung up flyers for it around campus. This then led me to do a series of tests to see how I'll mentally decline during this experiment. I did a reaction time test.
Oh, I misclicked.
That's tough,
I misclicked.
bro.
We're gonna refresh. That doesn't count.
Number memory.
Oh, I knew something was off, man.
I was too confident. Level 8. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So seven numbers I was able to remember.
1, 2,
And the
3,
chimp test.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
I think it's called the chimp test because chimps can do it like crazy.
I can do it crazy.
When it was all said and done, I had a reaction time of 259 milliseconds. I could remember up to 7 numbers, and the chimp test, I got a score of 11. So I just got done with my first class of the day, and I was pretty tired through most of my classes. I think that was almost because of the stress of knowing how long I have to stay awake. It also just started raining, which is kind of bittersweet because I just love taking naps when it rains. Like, the sound is so soothing to me. So this is definitely the first of many obstacles I'm gonna have to conquer in this documentary. I started to get a little scared because when I started to tell people what I was doing, they all reacted with,
I don't think you're gonna be able to do it, Alex.
wow, we got a downer,
Get
a hater,
Get out of
a
here.
hater,
There's no way you do it.
hater,
There's no
hater.
hate with it.
So I guess, just keep checking on myself, making sure I'm okay. Right now, I feel pretty good. I feel 9 out of 10 right now, so. I didn't want to do this so soon. It's 1 a.m. on the first night, but like I said, I feel unusually more tired than usual. See, that sentence doesn't even make sense, so. I decided to do computer work for the rest of the night so that I would save my energy for the next day. On that very next day, I decided to collect some interviews with my fellow students to see what their relationship with sleep is like. What's a normal, how should I phrase it? How many hours of sleep do you get on an average night? That's a good way to phrase it.
I think so. Usually I go to bed around midnight. And then some days I wake up, I'm going to say on average, around like 9:30. So I'm going to say 9.5 hours.
Do you feel like that's enough sleep?
I do. I just think that generally my body always likes to make me think I'm more tired than I am.
I would say 5 to 6, but that is that is an average.
Do you feel like that's enough?
No.
Like 5 hours probably, like 5 or 6 hours.
Do you feel like that's enough sleep?
I make it work.
Make it work?
Yeah.
What are the main causes for like getting only 5 hours of sleep?
I stay up on my phone a lot really late. I will finish my homework. It's not like I have that much work, but sometimes I just want time to myself.
I try to go to bed at 10:30 and wake up at 7. So what is that, like 8.5-ish? Yeah, like I try to get 8 hours.
Do you feel like that's enough sleep?
I think it is. Yeah, and I can usually do 6 minimum.
It is difficult to get the sleep that you need as a college student because of all the responsibilities that you have, and because of like especially your academic responsibilities. I think that a lot of professors, like, I love an 11:59 submissions deadline. It does motivate me to put it off until very late at night sometimes. And I think that, like, I don't know, I think that having students do work in class and like submitting assignments in class is like a really good way to like not have that be a problem.
I don't know if I can speak for everybody, but I'm a little bit more efficient in that if I have assignments that I know are going to be due at the end of the week, I'll try to get them done earlier. So I'll just do it during the day, like any chance I get during class, which I probably shouldn't be doing. So then usually by the time I get to bed, I have nothing else to do. But there's been a couple occasions where studying has kept me up a little later, maybe till like 1 o'clock or such.
I mean, there's not. My personal experience is like there's not. It's more my doing than like actual college doing. I could always say less homework, but in reality, I'm here to learn. So this is part of the growing process and me just adjusting to like trying to figure out how to get into a best sleep schedule.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what's that over there? Sorry, I had to get my jawline in the shot. I think it progressed naturally. I think that's natural.
I'll put that in the film.
Inspired by my shirt, I decided to take a break on campus and feed some squirrels. I am stumbling over my words a lot more, and it's really hard for me to think of thoughts. Like when I was doing those interviews today, it was very hard for me to formulate the next question or even come up with the first one. I feel warm inside for some reason. I don't know why that is. And I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot, but I'm more just trying to document how I'm feeling at this stage. So hanging in there. We're going to have a good night tonight. We're going to plan on going out.
That was sick with the semi passing through. I love filmmaking. I just shoot a Waffle House and it's considered a school.
So I just got back from Waffle House. The coffee was a great call because I was feeling very tired on the way there, very out of it. But I had that coffee and it's kind of helping me again, maybe. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, by the way, on Friday. Yeah.
Yay.
Yay, 48 hours.
I'm feeling pretty good. I was feeling pretty out of it. I still feel out of it. It's very hard for me to think right now.
Get him and talk.
It's been a process. Jack, how do you think I've been?
I think Alex has been good. You don't seem way too tired until it comes to actually talking with other people and engaging. And then it's a little bit, it takes a second to process, but...
Definitely the processing is like, I don't know, I've put a little extra effort, but besides that,
you seem pretty awake.
it's a pretty sunny day. I think that helps.
Yeah, that does help.
I don't know, just gotta be in the mojo.
It's a beautiful day.
266, that might be a faster reaction time than when I started, which is interesting. Because maybe I'm less nervous now and more in the zone. Well, let's see how my memory is. 6, 5, 2, 2, 9. Oh, I was way off. I was not that far off on my first attempt on any of the numbers. 1, 2,
You know why it's called the chimpanzee test?
I think it's because chimpanzees are like insanely good at this.
Yeah, they're better at it than humans.
Like they can go to the millions with it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because they get a banana if they do it right. And
I'll give you a banana if you do it
Okay,
right.
see now I'm gonna do it a lot better. All right, so we'll put those into the memory bank. This is yeah, good job. On my second round of tests, my reaction time was 305 milliseconds. I remembered up to 9 numbers, and on the chimp test, I got a 9. Since I wanted to keep doing normal things, that included taking a trip up to Indy for a class. I saw a swirly face man make a song for the flag of Indiana.
What are you saying? Flag of Indiana?
This is my friend Max, who I told to blow a clown horn in my face if I fell asleep. Thank you. So drastic times call for drastic measures. So I got the 1 chip challenge here. Chip that is insanely high on the Scoville rating, so I'm going to take a bite of it, and that's going to keep me awake through this keep me awake. Are you struggling just to stand in the place I was holding?
Bro, that's a real reaction.
Smells like
Dude, what the?
There's like hot chip dust in my nose right now.
Do you want to use the boot for water? I just got that idea.
Oh.
Dust boot.
Okay, yes I do.
Okay.
Yes I do. Deeds, not words. I can't do it all. Max, Derek, get the milk.
I actually feel sad right now.
Oh god, that's so much pain. That is so much pain. Oh no. Oh.
Oh no, Alex.
You want to go outside?
What's that do?
You're cooler. It's cold outside.
That's me spitting it out, not throwing up. Yep. I just can't swallow it. God, it's so much pain.
Hey, how you feeling, buddy? Feel okay?
I feel okay. I feel okay. I'm in so much pain from the chip. I think this is it. I think I'm going to sleep. So I woke up about 2 hours ago, and that's definitely been the longest duration I've slept since Wednesday. I woke up not knowing what day it was. I thought it was Monday, and I was late to my classes and everything. And I have the biggest headache I've ever had in my entire life right now. It's so bad. And I just feel like everything's like a dream, and I haven't been able to really shake it since yesterday. So yeah, let's see. I'm curious now to see how long
this does affect me and when I kind of go back to being normal, I guess.
The results from my previous survey were quite interesting, with around 25% of students saying they only get around 5 hours of sleep and 70% saying that's not enough. Although I didn't reach my goal of 100 hours, I hope I brought up an interesting conversation about students and sleep, albeit in some dumb ways. I'm unsure if universities can do anything to help with students' sleep schedules. Maybe I'll sleep on it.
Awesome. That was an amazing film we just watched. Alex, so great to have you here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
For my first episode, I'm so excited.
Yeah, big honor to be on the first episode.
Yeah, so just tell us, what was your initial inspiration for making the documentary, and kind of, was it a personal project? Was it for a class?
It was entirely a personal project. Believe it or not, that was not for a class I had to do that for. That would have been a messed up class, maybe a psychology one or something.
A project of passion.
Project of passion. It was. I think my initial inspiration was maybe the Super Size Me documentary with a guy at McDonald's for like a month. Yeah, that was crazy. So I was like, what can I do that's kind of stupid, but maybe have a message? And I was like, well, I don't sleep that much. I'm sure college students don't really sleep that much. Maybe I could just see how long I can stay awake for.
Yeah.
So it was just an off-the-whim idea. I had it in the back pocket for a while. And then one week, my friend brought it up again. She's like, you ever going to do that? I'm like, why not? We'll have some fun with it. We'll go to Waffle House. We'll have a party.
Scene.
That's a great scene in that film. Very, almost like the midpoint.
Yes.
Right before the inciting incident is when that happens.
Because you're on such a high because of the waffles.
Because the waffles, but that was kind of my detriment. Because if you've ever been to Waffle House, the viewers at home, it's very filling. It makes you very sleepy. So I didn't make a lot of good decisions in the film, which I think you see in the end, unfortunately.
The payoff, yes.
Payoff's not quite there. In the film, I don't do it. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't make it to 100 hours awake.
I don't make it.
Well, I was going to ask this later in the interview, but I'll ask it now. Were you disappointed in yourself?
I think I was. I think I was really disappointed in myself.
Okay.
I wanted to do it. I just think I didn't have the resources. I needed like a team following me, maybe a camera crew.
Yeah.
And then I had classes and other stresses on top of that, which I wanted to have that kind of stuff because it's important for the film, I think.
Yeah.
Still try to go about your college routine.
Yeah, a realistic,
I wanted
portrayal.
to keep it realistic and not just have my eyes peeled open,
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange style for 100 hours. That's not entertaining.
That would be crazy.
I was a little disappointed though. I ended up taking a nap and I was honest.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lie and I just want to be like, I did it. I could have done that.
Yeah.
I wasn't streaming it.
But no, I think that a very important aspect of filmmaking is the truth, and especially in a documentary. So I think that you were very honorable to say, guys, I couldn't do it. It was so hard. And I think that it actually added a lot to the documentary because a lot of the main themes were that, college students are under so much pressure and stress and like have to stay awake. And the fact that you couldn't do it, it's kind of like, wow, like maybe we shouldn't be putting all this on ourselves.
I mean, exactly. I wanted to take a nap today. I probably will take a nap after this because
I probably will too.
I'm just very tired all the time.
Yeah.
I've fallen asleep in class many times.
Yeah.
Many a times. It's not fun. Hopefully the documentary will expose the IU staying awake market that Pamela Witness put upon us.
Whoa, getting a little political here on the first episode. But you mentioned, it was a very solo project. You didn't have a crew following you around or whatever. Do you think it would have been easier to stay awake if you hadn't have had to also like think of all the work you had to do for the documentary, like shooting and producing it yourself while also being the subject?
Yeah, I think that definitely would have helped. Definitely during the nighttime hours. I did have people help me. Like I had someone help me do the interview segment. I had people help me towards the end. But my friends are kind of jerks, so they just wanted me to eat a very hot chip when I went over to their place, which I did.
It's another great scene in the film.
Another great scene in the film. I threw up milk.
Yeah.
So maybe that would not have been the most beneficial thing, but it probably would have made me stay like the full 100 hours, I think.
Interesting. So we can blame your friends.
I think we can.
Yeah.
It's not on me, guys. Not on me. What can I do?
You heard it here first. Now, tell me, had you made documentaries before, or was this your first one?
I was actually in the process of making another documentary for a class.
Okay.
While I was doing that documentary. I think that's one of the scenes in there, a little
kind of doubled up.
Yeah, so I did do that, and I really enjoyed it. I made a documentary or two back before college as well, and I'm planning on making more because I just really love
Okay. Yeah. Do you do narrative filmmaking as well?
Here and there, most of the times I do it, it's mostly comedy based. I don't really try to get too dramatic or too serious with the story when I do narrative, but I'm really falling in love with documentaries, so I think I might try to pursue that more.
That's amazing. Oh my God. Do you have any like documentaries that are like your film influences besides Super Size Me we already mentioned?
That's a really good question. That's a fantastic one. Oh, I watched this. There's a lot of great Netflix ones that are almost like in these mini-series. Oh, what's a good one? Put me on the spot on the documentary question.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Oh, there's the Nathan. Have you seen the Nathan For You, the final episode of that?
I haven't seen the final episode, but I've seen episodes of the show.
That's a great final episode of that show is a documentary where he tries to find this couple, not a couple, but this guy, older guy, had a crush on this girl from like high school, so they tried to find her. It's like a journey story.
Yeah.
Very comedic, very funny. So any documentary that throws in a lot of comedy, but it still has real people, real situations, I really enjoy.
That's interesting, because I think Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal also is kind of, it's a documentary series style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any TV show like that is based in reality, but still has very comedic, very silly elements, I really enjoy.
I think it's really nice, because I think that something that a lot of people think of or like associate documentaries with as being more like on the serious side or like purely educational or purely about like hard-hitting issues that like aren't very fun to watch. So I think it's really nice that like it's like, yeah, documentaries can be fun to watch. They don't have to be about like sad subjects, you know?
Yeah, and there's still very much a place for those serious documentaries. Serious documentaries have done a ton of
great work. We are not disparaging serious
I'm not disparaging them.
No.
They've done a bunch of great work. There's a prison one. I forgot the name of it. It's on Netflix though. It's very, very interesting, very informative, very thought-provoking, which I think documentaries can very much offer.
They can change lives.
I think they can. I think they can.
That's beautiful. Well, okay, do you think, back to the content now of your documentary, do you think that it would have been easier if you had been observing someone else staying awake for 100 hours? Because I guess you as a documentarian kind of would have still had to.
Yeah, I would have had to as well.
Now that I think about it, it's very interesting. Staying awake for 100 hours is like a very personal thing, because if you had been following someone else doing that, you still would have had to. That's a great idea for a sequel. I think if I get a buddy who would want to do that with me, and like we keep each other on check. Maybe we can like handcuff get handcuffed so like we can't even separate from each other. That would be interesting. That is a great idea.
I might. Who knows? I might
jot it down. Jot it down.
But yeah,
stay tuned.
I didn't want to do that because I would have felt bad if I
like
you stay awake. So I just did it to myself. But
if
someone would want to do it with me, tag team, I'd be more fine with that.
Perhaps a fan, any fans out there of the documentary, feel free to comment on this video, email me, email Alex. We're not going to put our emails out there. You can find them yourself.
Dox me.
Yeah, dox me as well, please. But since this was a solo project, we talked a little bit about this, but the collaborative aspect of filmmaking is typically a very big thing, and you did kind of feel the effects of that.
I think absolutely I did. I have worked on a ton of films that are very, very collaborative, a bunch of people working on them, and this was almost kind of very much a learning experience for me, just to take my camera, kind of just interview myself, be myself with it, relax a little bit. Almost like a meditative kind of filmmaking at certain points where I just didn't have the stress of a bunch of people just working together, which is very valuable and I very much enjoy it. But it was also very valuable to kind of take it on my own and kind of experience that. Yeah, it's very introspective.
That's beautiful. Now we have mentioned the possibility of a sequel, something else you're interested. Do you have anything in the works?
I do.
That you may want to announce right now?
I do. Behind the Curtain is hearing it for camera. Camera 4, Behind the Curtain is hearing it first. My next film, I will be attempting to walk 100,000 steps in a single day for my next film. I don't know what it's going to be called. I don't know if I'll do it like I did on the last one, but that is the idea.
That's a lot of steps.
It's a lot of steps, but I usually get around, like 17,000.
Okay.
So that's like 17% of the way there in just a normal day.
You could just like pick like a Sunday perhaps, so you don't have a lot going on, and just walk the streets of Bloomington.
I think we roam. There'll be gags. There'll be goofs and gags in that one as well.
Yeah.
Don't even worry. Just wait for it. It got hot today, so I'm going to wait for it to get a little colder, be nicer weather, maybe the fall, get some nice shots of some trees.
That'd be beautiful. Highlight the campus a little bit.
Highlight the campus, get the squirrels in there, get some pumpkin spice latte. It'll be a fun time. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I can't wait either, and hopefully you'll be able to come back on the show to talk about that one.
Who knows? Could be award-winning.
It could be.
Could be.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for coming on the show. That is all the time we have left for today. It was amazing getting to talk more about your film, and I guess not to meet you, we already knew each other.
We did.
But to speak to you more. And thank you for tuning into our very first episode of the season. If you're looking to watch the whole film, you can find the link in the description below. And if you or a friend or anyone you know is interested in submitting a student production to be featured on our show, you can find the link to the form down in the description as well. Until next time, I'm Eric Hunter, and this has been Behind the Curtain.